common errors in spoken English from espressoenglish.net. Number 1. Everybody are happy. Words like everybody, somebody, anybody, and nobody are actually singular, not plural. Even though everybody refers to a lot of people, it takes the singular verb, so the correct sentence is everybody is happy. Number 2. I'll explain you the problem. In this sentence, there are two objects, the direct object, the problem, and the indirect object, you. After explain, we need to use to before the indirect object, the person to whom we are doing the explaining. Also, it's more common to put the direct object first, so the correct sentence is, I'll explain the problem to you. Number 3. I have the possibility to study in Canada next year. With the word have, we use opportunity, not possibility, so the correct sentence is, I have the opportunity to study in Canada next year. The word possibility is more used with there is. For example, there's a possibility I may study in Canada next year. Number 4. I think she doesn't like tomatoes. Although there's no specific grammar rule here, it's more common to say, I don't think she likes tomatoes. Number 5. If I will see John later, I'll give him the message. Although both events, seeing John and giving him the message, are technically in the future, this sentence should be in the first conditional form. If I see John later, I'll give him the message. In the first conditional, we have two parts of the sentence, the condition and the result. Although both are in the future, we use the present form of the verb with if, and then will and won't with the verb in the result. Number 6. Do you want that I make breakfast? The word that is not typically used after want. The correct sentence is, do you want me to make breakfast? Number 7. I'm thinking to buy a new car. When you are considering doing something in the future, we don't use the word to after think, so the correct sentence would be, I'm thinking of buying a new car, or I'm thinking about buying a new car. We use the word of or about with the ing form of the verb. Number 8. They enjoyed the baseball game despite of the rain. Despite and in spite of mean the same thing, but after despite we never use of. The correct sentence would be, they enjoyed the baseball game despite the rain, or they enjoyed the baseball game in spite of the rain. Number 9. My 10-year-old daughter loves to dance. When the age comes after the word is, then you say years old. For example, my daughter is 10 years old. But when the age comes before the person or object as an adjective, then you say year, not years. My 10-year-old daughter loves to dance. Number 10. Our house is near to the beach. Near and close to mean the same thing, but the word to is never used after near. The correct sentence is, our house is near the beach, or our house is close to the beach. Number 11. I like very much soccer. We don't normally put very much between a verb, like, and its object, soccer. The correct sentence would be, I like soccer very much. However, in spoken English, it would probably be more common to say, I like soccer a lot, or I really like soccer. Number 12. Gary gave to Joan the keys. The verb give has two objects, the indirect object, Joan, and the direct object, the keys. We can say this sentence correctly in two ways. Gary gave Joan the keys, or Gary gave the keys to Joan. Number 13. She asked me, where do I work? This is one of the most difficult parts of English, reported speech. In reported questions, we do not use the auxiliary verbs do, does, or did, so the correct sentence is, she asked me where I work. Number 14. They left without say goodbye. When you use a verb after conjunctions and prepositions like after, before, since, when, while, without, instead of, and in spite of, the verb is generally in the ing form. So the correct sentence is, they left without saying goodbye. Number 15. I need to finish this project until Friday. We use until to talk about a continuous situation that will continue up to a certain moment. For example, I'm staying in the city until June. Staying is a continuous action. Use the word by to talk about a single action or event that will happen before a future moment. By is often used with deadlines, so the correct sentence is, I need to finish this project by Friday. Number 1. The difference between haven't and don't have. I haven't a car is incorrect. The correct sentence is, I don't have a car. When have is the main verb, meaning possession, we use don't have and doesn't have. For example, I don't have any sisters. Bob doesn't have a dog. When have is the auxiliary verb, like in the present perfect, then we use haven't and hasn't. For example, I haven't finished my work yet. Jane hasn't taken the test. Number 2. Everybody like or likes. Everybody like the teacher is incorrect. The correct sentence is, everybody likes the teacher. The words everybody, anybody, somebody, and nobody all take the singular form of the verb. Everybody refers to many people, but it considers them as a group. Other words that refer to many people but take the singular form of the verb include team, club, staff, family, police, and class. Number 3. Indirect and direct objects. Gary gave to Joan the keys is incorrect. The correct sentence is, Gary gave the keys to Joan, or Gary gave Joan the keys. Let's look at the parts of this sentence. Gary is the subject, gave is the verb, the keys are the direct object, and Joan is the indirect object. In English, we can form the correct sentence in two ways. The indirect object often comes immediately after the verb. Subject, verb, indirect object, direct object. Gary gave Joan the keys. You can also put the direct object first and add to before the indirect object. Gary gave the keys to Joan. However, you can't put the indirect object first and use to. Number 4. Prepositions and verbs. They left without say goodbye is incorrect. The correct sentence is, they left without saying goodbye. Verbs immediately following prepositions like before, after, since, when, while, despite, without, and for always take the ing form. Here are some examples. After graduating from college, she started working full-time. This course is great for improving your English. Number 5. Reported questions. He asked me, where do I live? Is incorrect. The correct sentence is, he asked me where I live. This sentence is an example of a reported question. We are talking about a question someone asked in the past. In reported questions, don't use the auxiliary verbs do, does, or did. Here's another example. They asked me, what did I think? Is incorrect. The correct sentence is, they asked me what I thought.
Common mistakes in English. I'm thinking of buying an 8K TV. Life is great. She doesn't listen to me. Everybody's happy. It's colder now. She's married to a dentist. Sue and I live there. Is my test ready? He's successful. Every student likes the teacher. I always go to work by bus. I must call her immediately. I usually drive home. She should not drink so much. You speak good English. Where can I find a gas station? She told me a long story. Joe gave Mary the keys. Would you like a glass of water? Our house is near the beach. He left without saying goodbye. Where is the post office? Can you give me some information? I like football very much. I'll explain the problem to you. I don't think the dog likes cats. I have to finish by Thursday.
شكرا لمشاهدة الفيديو، ولا تنسوا عمل سبسكرايب، لايك، شير. مع تحيات كمبيوتر فور يو.